welcome you to our campaign secretary.
There are two states now. The bigger one, Abia, Ibonyi was carved out. Goje and distinguished senator now. Governor of Kwara State, Bukola Saraki. North, APC, His Excellency, and now distinguished senator, former Chief Oni, and last in has been defending the party day and night. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, I will read a statement by me as presidential candidate of the APC in response to the INEC announcement of the shifting of the original dates of the presidential and the other elections from 14th instant to 28th of next month and 11th of April, respectively. We must remain calm but resolute. Following the decision by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to postpone the 2015 general elections by 6 weeks, I wish to appeal for uttermost restraint and calm by all Nigerians, especially the teeming supporters of our great party, the All Progressives Congress. This postponement, which comes on the heels of the bogey of the National Security Advisor that half of the registered voters were being disenfranchised, was exposed as a crude and fraudulent attempt to subvert the electoral process. The PDP administration has now engineered a postponement using the threat that security will not be guaranteed across the length and breadth of Nigeria because of military engagement in some states in the northeast. It is important to note that although INEC acted within its constitutional powers, it is clear that it has been boxed into a situation where it has to bow to pressure. Thus, the independence of INEC has been severely compromised. As a Nigerian and a presidential candidate in the election, I share in the disappointment and frustration of this decision. This postponement coming a week to the first election has raised so many questions, many of which shall be asked in the days ahead. However, we must not allow ourselves to be tempted into taking actions that could further endanger the democratic process. Our country is going through a difficult time in the hands of terrorists. Any act of violence can only complicate the security challenges in the country and provide further justification to those who would want to exploit every situation to frustrate the democratic process in the face of certain defeat at the polls. If anything, this postponement should strengthen our resolve and commitment to rescue our country from the current economic and social collapse from this desperate hand. Our desire for change must surpass their desperation to hold on to power at all costs. We are clearly dealing with people who feel they can get away with placing their personal interests over those of our nation and its citizens. What is at stake is the very survival of our country. We must not allow this temporary delay in about this great opportunity. While I share the pains and frustrations of my fellow citizens over this development, my deep faith in democratic process assures me that this country, with your support, will overcome. We must remain resolute and rise above all provocations. We must continue to trust in the entire democratic process and in INEC, which has been brought under so much pressure in the last few days. Our trust can only serve to encourage the electoral body to remain steadfast and remain committed to the rule of law. I wish to state strongly that our party will not tolerate any further interference in the electoral process. The rescheduled elections of 28th March and April 11th, 2015 must be sacrosanct. Nigeria is definitely greater than any of us, and much more important than our individual ambitions. Before us, there was Nigeria, and long after we are gone, there will still be Nigeria. Let us continue to do our part to make it the great country that it should be. We must rescue our dear country. God being on our side, we shall salvage Nigeria together. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Your name, your media, and the question.
No party will no longer tolerate that party creators. Thank you very much.
Yeah, what is the other? Maybe
Microphone.
I think I can. I happen to be a member of the National Council of States, and we met on this issue for about 7 hours. INEC gave us a comprehensive report of their activities from 2011 elections to the day before yesterday. And they said in their report that they are ready for the election on the 4th of this month, on the 14th of this month, and the 28th of this month. They said they were ready. But then the military wrote to them that they cannot guarantee their security or anybody's security. That's how INEC has been compromised. By the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, INEC is the institution or the body that will organize and conduct elections in this country. It is up to the government to secure INEC. But with the military we have, if for 5 years the Nigerian military cannot secure 14 local governments, 10 in Borno, 2 in Yobe, and 2 in Adama, out of 774 local governments in this country, does that mean it's just a delay tactics? Because in 6 weeks, what they can't do in 6 years, they cannot do it in 6 weeks. But again, it was absolutely clear to us that elections must be held 30 days at least before 29th of May. So this is the last card INEC and the government has. We don't know the type of government they want to bring, whether a military government or a civilian government. But an elected government must be in place 30 days before 29th of May this year. Why we said we want to interfere, tolerate other interference? is because it's constitutional. This is the last card. INEC has played its last card. So it's up to the government to empower the military or whoever it is responsible to make sure that INEC feels secure and the constituency is secure enough to go and vote. Thank you. Which one?
TVC.
Now you have a shift in the date. What would be the reaction of APC?
Can you repeat your question again, please?
My question is this.
Constitutional issue. And if you listen clearly yesterday to Chairman of INEC explanation, and which I have repeated just now, 30 days to 29th of May, elections must be held. And now, having shifted the dates to 28th of March and 11th of April, that is the last card. So the federal government is the final warning constitutionally they have received from INEC. They have to secure this country by the 28th of this month. If they feel it is insecure, as threatened by the military, they have to secure the country by 28th of this month, 28th of March, and 11th of April, respectively, for the election to take place. Otherwise, whatever they do is going to be unconstitutional, and it's up to Nigerians to accept it or to reject it. To the best of my knowledge, none of our supporters that won their primaries, House of Assemblies, representatives, senators, governorship, and finally myself lost any hope. We haven't lost hope because we are still acting within the Nigerian Constitution. And that's why by this address to you, we are sending the message across to the government and its institutions. They must respect the Nigerian Constitution because that's what puts them legally there. From the date one, if they violate this Constitution, then they have no right to remain where they are.
The last question. Last.
Yes, there is this allegation that your party and you, I want to know, will you be surprised if this postponement attracts?
Because he's not audible here.
I think where the journalists state, and that's the something state office, Bauchi is PDP state. They have 90%. Lagos has 34. So who is the INEC favorite?
Huh?